All right, so now that will be the next team, Team 6, to be presenting from the Lingnan University. So again, you will be having 8 minutes for the presentations.
Hello everyone, we are team from Lingnan University. Today we are going to present our product PureAura, which is a air purifier with our AI model. To begin with, I want to ask everyone a question. How large is the room you live in? Hong Kong government, I believe most of the people who sit in here will have a comfortable place to live. Hong Kong government research recently pointed out that there is 110,000 subdivided flats across Hong Kong, involving around 220 residents here. Unfortunately, most of the people who stand here will have the median living space per person is only 6 square meters. And even like most all of those people just live in a football field. That's shocking, right? And 40% of those people are lack of ventilation opening. It would definitely create some negative impact on our target user. For example, the relevant disease, especially the respiratory disease. In summer, high temperature will cause the growth of bacteria, and our target user may suffering from the high temperature because they cannot afford the electricity bill for the AC, and it would which will let them feel depression or even get sick.
For this sort of problem, we decided to actually come up with a little bit of a simple sort of way. In 3 steps, the air purifier, the monitor sensor, and also an app. In this case, we decided to actually combine the air purifier with the monitor sensor. Gaining all of the data from the monitor sensor specifically located in that subdivided unit, presenting it to the app, which is also going to be accessible to all of the users out there, and especially the residents. Gaining the data from that place, training our model, and presenting 2 outcomes. The very first one is going to be the personalization score with the risk health, just like Yolanda mentioned, we're going to be mostly working with the respiratory health issues here. And the rest is going to be related to the recommendations that they are going to gain thanks to all the data that they're going to have and present to our app.
Yeah, then here comes the human-in-the-loop idea of our project, as shown in the diagram. So first, indoor air data is collected by our air purifier, and the system analyzes the data with our AI model. After that, the recommendations are created and sent to our users through our app. It doesn't make the final decision for the users, but the users can still decide what to do in this case, like to open the window or to turn on the air purifier. After the actions are taken, the environment changes and the new data is collected. This creates a new and a continuous loop. In short, AI helps the process, but our human still remains in control.
Let me touch up a little bit more on what the whole solution presents once more. Just like my teammate mentions, at first we have been doing mostly the data collection. It comes up from 3 sources. The very first one is going to be the HKAE data, which is the governmental data that we have in like the public places. And just like we already understand, they are placed in quite all of the regions of Hong Kong. The one that we have mostly focused on was Shamshui-Po district. The Lingnan University has also completed several of the researches when it was related to the air quality in the Shamshui-Po district. We have collected the data from 2024 to 2025 around for several months. Now, in this case, we have trained our data specifically on the daily updates. The future enhancements are going to be mostly including the hourly updates. Apart from that, we are going to be gaining the user health profile. Now, the question might actually pop up. How actually are we going to do the correlation between all these parts? The research actually states that specifically thanks to the air quality that's going to be out there in the room and the place that they're going to be living in, the respiratory health, it's either going to be enhanced or actually downgraded, which is why we decided to actually gain the data about the user health profile with all the medical parts specifically from the data and collecting them here. Next step is going to be about the model training. In this case, thanks to all the data, we are how it works mostly with the random forest and XGBoost, and we gained an accuracy around 60%. I do understand just how small it is, but for the future enhancements, this is what we are going to be training with and also collecting even more data. As I mentioned, we mostly focus on the Shamshripur districts for now. Now, the real-time inference, in this case, we really want our monitor sensory to be gaining the data on an hourly basis, basically meaning that the user might not only be able to actually have the data outside of its subdivided unit, but also inside of it. Gain the data and actually have more of the personalized risk score that they're going to be having or experiencing in the future. And just like my teammate mentioned, the risk score and then also the recommendations that they need to be taken. In his case, he mentions very simple ones, basically opening up the window or anything related to that, but the personalization doesn't actually stop out there. We are going to be also working specifically with their own health issues. Now, there might be the issue also related to the health part. In this case, it is definitely just like my teammate mentions, the human-in-the-loop design. That's not going to be only in the part of the AI fully, but also enhancing the already knowledge that the user has got.
In the future, in order to let our product become more outstanding, we aim to connect the PureAura with Hong Kong government. Besides, we also want to have the indoor layout from our user to as AI input. Last but not least, we also want to enhance the probability for our product to enhance the pollution detection, detect the factor like VOC.
Yeah, as we all know that there are a lot of products in the market, and they are like Xiaomi or Dyson that almost compete on the hardware, like the airflow, the filter, and a smart control. Some of them mention AI, but it's just a sort of automation. On top of that, as we all know that our target user is the people living in the subdivided unit. With that being the case, they cannot afford that expensive ones. So we decide to make a new ones to suit them.
At this point, you might be wondering, what's so different? What's so special about the products? Why choose us products? What's so special in this? And this is our unique value proposition. That is the explainability and also the behavior change. There are many, many good products on the market. Let's say Panasonic, let's say Dyson. But can the users or residents living in subdivided units, can they afford it? Well, I doubt. Well, you might say, hey, what about Xiaomi? They also sell about a few $100s. What's the difference? So we provide affordable solutions, also with AI. We explain why this advice, why this come from, why this acts scientifically, work for them, how this improves their indoor quality. And that is our main standout points with the AI.
Coming up to go to market potential, our project
Right, thank you very much. Sorry, the time is up. So now I will pass the time to the judges for the 12 minutes Q&A sessions. Judges, please. Thank you.
May I ask the first questions? First of all, thank you for your presentations. It's really a valid programs facing by the subdivided unit. Thank you for your effort in making human AI interface a meaningful one. So my question is, what is your business model? Yeah, you may continue to explain a little bit about it, as well as how would you charge for the low-income housing market, and what make your solutions commercially sustainable? Thank you.
Thank you for your questions. So now I would like to introduce, we are planning to use inclusive business model as we aim to make air purifier accessible for underserved communities. So our target users will be subdivided unit residents and low-income users. And for our marketing strategy, we plan to use the Robin Hood model. So we're going to collaborate with the social enterprise, which is business to business. So the social enterprise can purchase our products for the underserved communities. So the subdivided unit residents can use it for free. Besides, we also have the razor blade model, so we can gain our gain our revenue from the device sales margin. And besides, currently we have fundings from university to make our business model sustainable. And furthermore, in our future plans, we plan to collaborate with more social enterprise, and this can help us to increase our profit margin so we have more retained profit in our business model. Thank you.
Thank you for the presentation. I think it makes a very good social impact indeed. Typically, to the subdivided flats, the folks living in there, is suffering from all these. But I have same question as Dr. Tang. What's your cost model? Because if Xiaomi, Philips, or Dyson, those people are not buying these, how could you make more competitive than these brands?
So first of all, our target audience is subdivided unit residents, so general public is not our first priority target customers. And our software monthly cost is $500. Our hardware, which is the air purifier, is only $150, which is very affordable. The average monthly salary for subdivided units is around $10,000, and our 150 cost is only around 2 to 3 mils, so which is very affordable. While the filter only $30, which can use for around half a year, and I believe this is already very low cost. And my teammates will further give more details of the software cost.
Thank you so much for the question once more. Just like she mentioned, mostly we're going to be covering up at around 150 per specifically the hardware part, and we do understand that it's not going to be solving the whole problem that the subdivided unit has got. In this case, we actually wanted to have the potential of a person living in there try to basically prevent all the further inclinations or the implications that they're going to have got in their health, which was why we decided to actually have got the human AI, the loop design, and specifically integrate the AI in part of the app. So it's going to be not only accessible to the user, but also gain the personalization that they might not actually have or might not even be aware of, simply because of all of the not the poverty line, but mostly like the challenges that they might actually have got and facing, which is why we do believe that when we're going to be comparing with effectiveness, we are also going to be a little bit greater in this case, and adding up all the touches in the personalization part, it's also going to be gaining in the social impact.
Thank you. Could you quickly do some quick maths and tell us what the peak sales is for this market, for your target market? So yeah, you have 150 for the fan, 30 every 6 months for the filter, 500 was it for the monthly
The software part, yeah, definitely. But for now, just like we were talking about, like mostly the prototype, we can actually do it on many of the free sort of base platforms, just like the Google Collab. And in this case, until we're going to be actually reaching the target of 10,000 of the software users, we could be working specifically with the server, which is going to be minimizing our cost to around 200 for the server parts and also the software. So at this part, probably the main part with the money, especially in the very first 6 months, we're going to be working with the NGOs and getting the subsidies from the university in order to actually launch it and present the whole part with the prototype testing.
Got it. And you said there are 110,000 subdivided flats, right? And you probably sell maybe 10 to 20% penetration rate. It sounds like it's 1 to 3 million Hong Kong dollars peak sales kind of market. Is that correct? And do you think is that a good market to target?
We do understand the problem that we are facing right now, as many of the people actually want to get out of the subdivided units rather than get into it. In this case, we were actually looking ahead as well when it comes to the roadmap. It was about expanding our the target users not only to the subdivided people that are, or the residents up there, but also to the elderly and also the children that might actually start facing since the very little, like the childhood parts. So definitely we're going to be expanding to the target usership, not only to the subdivided unit residents, but even more when it comes to the Hong Kong.
I would like to add up more that our project, we actually aim for to improve our social benefits and social welfare instead of profit maximization. Thank you.
Yeah, on the customer side, right? I assume this is either subsidized or paid by businesses, social enterprises, and so on, rather than the user themselves, right? But from the user perspective, can you elaborate on what are the top of mind needs for them, right? Is air quality, obviously from our perspective it is, but would they think in their top of the mind, if there are $150, $200 per month going into this category, is air quality or even more basic needs, right? Are we serving the right needs?
We do understand your question, thank you. Now in this case, we decided to actually go backwards from the problem. So one of the very first core problems that they might actually be facing is about the health. Now we do understand that when it comes to the health, there is nothing that much that the startups might actually do apart from easing the problem that they're going to experience in the future, which is why we decided to actually come up with a part where they would be able to track their own health, specifically thanks to the app that they're going to be having, which is one of the needs that we wanted to cover is the deterioration of the respiratory health issues that they might be facing in the future. One of the other needs that in the case of the judge, we're actually looking at was the money and also the part with the other issues that they might be having. The health was basically the biggest one that we wanted to actually tackle and ease their problems for, and then we decided to get into it in a more sort of a complex way. So basically with the 3 stages, just like I mentioned, with the air purifier, the sensory, and it's also the app. We're going to be happy to answer all of the other questions if there are any.
Right, thank you, Justice.
Thank you so much.
Lingnan University, for the presentation. Thank you.